Welcome or welcome back to WatchAdvisor on YouTube, where the watches are the stars, but sometimes CEOs do also appear on our screen or your screen. And today with me is Wilhelm Schmid, the CEO of Lange Söhne. Good morning, Wilhelm.
Thank you, Alexander. That's a nice introduction, by the way.
The watches are the stars on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, because I tend to be in the background as much as I can and show the watches.
Which resonates very much with us. If you come and enter our booth, you know exactly what we stand for.
Yes.
You come in and the only and first thing you see is a giant watch. So yeah, I can work with this.
The watches are the stars.
You're right. I wouldn't be here without them.
Yeah, me neither.
Don't forget to subscribe and to hit the bell to get our latest notifications.
First of all, we are having our Royal Bush taste.
Yeah, it's traditional.
Traditional Royal Bush taste. I very much enjoy this. This is kind of a thing we're going to continue as long as we do interviews.
Absolutely.
Before we both go in our...
We're still young, Alexander.
Yes, so many more Royal
Which is good and bad. I mean, talking retirement takes a time, but it's good to be young.
Yeah, as long as we do these, the Royal Bush tea will be among us. First of all, congratulations. We have been launching a video, just in case you haven't seen this video, about the new Ulysses chronograph with Anthony de Haas, the technical director. Check out the video if you haven't seen it, but I know you have. Talking about this fantastic chronograph, Wilhelm, 100 pieces. And is this now the new strategy of Lange Söhne? You are very much in Ulysses the last years, so you make 100 pieces and then everybody goes on vacation.
No, it sounds like a good plan though, but no, not really. We launched the titanium Odysseus last year, and now we have only one watch, only one novelty, which is the Odysseus chronograph. But if you walk around here, you see all the watches that we launched as well over the last 3 years, and you will see that there's, despite the 4 Odysseus, we start 2019, there are about 25 other watches that we launched. And even if we only launch one watch for Watches and Wonders in Odysseus, trust me, there are a lot more watches to come throughout the rest of the year. Now we're not focusing on Odysseus, and we only do 100 for exactly that reason, because all our chronographs are waiting list watches. So if you want to buy one, they're usually not available, so you have to wait. Now we're going to build that new watch, and it's the same department that will work on that watch. So, and anyhow, department that is under stress will have to carry even more stress, and that's why 100. That will take us probably 3-4 years to build them, without neglecting all the other watches and the back orders that we have for that. So that's where you have to make a call, and that's 100, because if we would have launched it unlimited, we would quickly waiting list for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and I don't entertain that sort of business.
100 pieces again, made... I've been reading the comments, of course, on the video. People very much appreciate the watch, like the watch. Some say it's a little bit too thick. Okay, but this is how it is, because it's a chronograph. It's an automatic chronograph.
A lot of hands that have to go on top of each other.
But these are personal tastes.
Absolutely, which I understand.
Lots of people also commented and say, however can I buy an Odysseus? Neither one, just one. Because they're all either limited or sold out or waiting list. So you have to be this client, that client. You have to know someone in the boutique, and maybe how can one manage? It's desperately seeking one, wanting one.
Yeah, look, I know it's challenging, but again, simply down to the fact that what we can produce, we do produce, but that obviously is by far not enough to cater for the demand. And it's the same story with the chronograph. All the watches that carry an outsized date, there's one department that actually is working on these watches. And that's the Lange one, which is also, very much sought after, even after almost 30 years. It'll be 30 years next year, so 29 this year. So if I now would move capacity from Lange 1 to Odysseus, you just move the gap around, and then that doesn't make any sense. So that's why at the moment we stopped taking order for the stainless steel Odysseus, because we know that the approved orders, that already brings us 5-6 years down the road. And I know that the production places or capacity that's been allocated to that watch is fully taken, so there won't be more. And we all know, I mean, if a watch is then 10 years, 11 years in the market, it may well be that we play with something and we don't continue this one. And what we don't want is create a waiting list and customers on that waiting list, and then we decide to not continue the watch. And whatever is on the list, bye-bye, sorry. So that's what we don't want. That's why, unfortunately, stainless steel for the moment is, we don't take orders. Titanium, I don't need to tell you. I mean, they are sold out. We just have to produce them, which also takes probably another 2.5 years, again, for the same reason. And I think the waiting time for the white gold is still 2 years, but I also assume that is going to close soon. It's not because we don't like to sell, trust me, I'm a businessman, but I also see what stress I can apply to the factory, and there's a limit, and that limit is reached.
Having such icons in the collection, from the Lange 1 to all your other watches, if now some creative people from your staff, from your team come and say, Wilhelm, I have an incredible idea. Can we make this and that watch? Isn't it almost impossible to say, yes, go for it, because you finally will end up not being able to manufacture it because you simply don't have the capacity, the bottleneck are the movements, I suppose?
You're absolutely right, Alison. That's the challenge right now. Every time we launch a new watch, another watch has to disappear. And in the best case, another watch that is in that category.
I couldn't imagine a watch that should disappear from your collection right now.
Which is, just highlighting the challenge we have right now, because almost all these watches are, sought after. You wait for it. So what we do right now is we're going to produce a lot less Saxonia thin. The watchmaker that we have today on our watch, they will move to the next category. Then the best of that category will move into the next category, and so on. So that overall, there will be more simple watches, and hopefully we can cater for a bit more watches at the higher end. Having said that, there's unfortunately the negative immediate effect, because immediately you don't build this watch, but even good watchmakers don't immediately build a new watch. So there's sort of a 3 to 6 months gap before even a talented watchmaker understands the new movement. And that's what we have to cater for, unfortunately. But again, I think that's a good way of maybe allocating a bit more capacity to the Lange 1. That's our key interest. Not Ulysses, because they have enough and we want to do more of them. But Lange 1, 29 years in collection, and you can hardly find one in our shops. That's we need to rectify. We focus on boutiques, as you probably know, but we also want to make sure that if you enter a boutique, there is at least something that you can see, that you can feel. We always talk about that moment of truth. What we do here is very nice. That's creating the hunger, the appetite. But the real moment of truth is, Alexander, and you and I know that better than probably most, touch the watch.
Of course.
If I hear people, don't like it, or is it too thick, or so, take it. Because the only natural habitat of a wristwatch is the wrist. And that's the moment of truth. And to avoid that people enter a boutique and they can't see anything, we really work hard right now, on the one hand, on reducing the number of point of sales. That's unfortunate because there will be a lot less. But at least that gives probably some juice to the remaining point of sales, where then at least you can see some of our watches.
The good idea that you are reducing point of sales, because a brand like Lange Söhne can afford that someone has to travel a few kilometers. Your watches, they must not be available everywhere. And I don't think it's necessary to have 2 or 3 points of sale in one city. It's not necessary. I see you really working in your boutiques, because Lange is a brand you have to discover. And as you say, it's the moment of truth, but then be in the world of Lange.
Yeah.
Be there and really inhale the world of Lange and nothing else.
Look, Alexander, we had a great team with our partners, and I'm not denying this. They made us together. We made Lange Söhne what it is today. They carried their part, we carried our part. But if everything in life moves on, nothing is forever. And what's been good yesterday is not necessarily the success model of tomorrow. What I know for sure is our organization got a lot more customer-centric, in a very true sense after we came closer to our customers and our customers closer to us. In the past, there was always that middleman. So we were good until the last meter. The customers were good on internet and in magazines, but that last meter, they talked to a wholesale partner. And they did a great job. But in today's world, you know, if you carry 7 to 10 brands, they launch watches every year more than once. Can you imagine how much information you have to consume and understand to then have a competent discussion with somebody that is asking for a Lange Söhne? And usually I was told they don't come unprepared. So that's also a learning lesson. So yes, it was great in the past. We had wonderful times. I think you're right. If somebody is prepared to spend that amount of money,
Should get the best possible treatment.
deserve, you know, an aggregation of service and offer and competence and time. You know, if you go to our boutique and you sit there for 2 hours, no problem. Nobody will chase you away because that's what it's meant to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we can cater for. And I'm pretty sure that's the model of the future. I think those companies that stay closest to their customers,
Of course.
will have the biggest success.
And then always think about that your production capacity is quite limited to some 5,000 plus minus watches. So there is a real Lange Söhne community out there.
Yeah.
And there are not too many. Rolex couldn't do that, probably. Manufacturing 1.5 million watches per year. This would be a little bit more difficult. But you, as a brand, where you are positioned with your approach to quality, design, and everything, I think you should know your clients. And you should have a family, a Lange family.
Absolutely right. And on top of that, Alexander, if you think about it, I mean, there is no merit in maintaining point of sales that have no stock. So you go there and all you see is a shop in shop. It's a billboard and a catalog. So you get a nice coffee and you can't order watches there. It just doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, you know, that's why we reduce it until we find that level where we have a good representation, good competence, a good geographical split, and then we see how we go from there on.
I have to ask you the question, but since the Ulysses is so dominating your collections these days,
It's not actually.
yeah, but everybody only talks about the Ulysses anymore.
It's not true.
Not true?
No.
Okay.
Not. You know, if I would share the emails that I get from customers, the Odysseus is a huge topic for people that don't have us.
Okay.
People that know us, it's not that much of a topic. Yeah, they like the watch, and yeah, you know, I had a good customer yesterday, never seen a titanium watch, and he loved it. Yeah, it's all true. But, you know, the focus of our real customer is not so much on the Odysseus. Funny enough, isn't it?
That's the general appreciation of Lange in the moment is very much Odysseus. And I wanted to ask you, what are you going to put against the Odysseus probably in your collection to get a more...
As they said, I would totally disagree.
Okay,
because,
then.
you know, 100 watches, how can that be the highlight of our collection?
No,
A few Odysseus and then 250 in steel. Trust me, that's not even...
But then you have... It's fantastic. It's a watch that is almost not available, being in everybody's mind.
Again, you know, it helped to fuel the discussion, but trust me, I cannot expose that, but, you know, I cannot disclose it. But factually, it's one of the smallest watch families in turnover and units that we have.
If there wouldn't be any Odysseus and you would have more capacity, would there be one Lange watch in your mind that should be done in the near future?
I will never answer that question because then people may assume what we're working on.
I tried.
Try as always.
I tried.
Good try.
Oh, okay. But thank you for correcting me. I'm just reflecting on what I hear.
It's
You know, everybody talks about that, not the chronograph per se, but they talk about Odysseus because, yeah, okay. Obviously, a watch industry works a little bit in a way that everything you can buy is in everybody's mind.
But you can't buy a chronograph from us, you can't.
Yeah.
You struggle to find a Lange 1 or a Lange 1 moon phase, not to talk about the time zone, because that's also unfortunately very hard to get. I believe that the Odysseus is very much a talking piece for people that not yet are customers of Lange Söhne. If you are a customer, it also is but it's not your focus.
You don't want that these customers that are not yet Lange customers jump directly to the Odysseus.
You can't get it, I'm sorry to say, that easy, and it's a fair and equal approach, Alexander. I always say that, and if somebody comes with a better idea, I'm happy to listen. But factually is, very few of these Odysseus ended up in the secondary market.
Bravo.
So obviously we did a good job in the first place to find the right wrists for it. That's our intention. This is not meant to be an investment watch. It's meant to be a watch like all the other watches that people wear and are happy with. That's why we made it waterproof, by the way. So that's the idea of the watch. And the system is very clear. If we don't know you, you don't have access to the watch. Very easy. Because we know if we don't know you, the likelihood that you buy it and then you come a bit weak and double your money tomorrow is very high. And we don't want that, I'm sorry. So it's a fair and equal treatment. We know you. We know what you did in the past. And there's a history that you have to build with us. And then, of course, we will happily accommodate, not with the stainless steel or a limited watches that sold out, but, there will be other watches. That's always been our thing. And the whole thing about I have to buy this or that, look, if you want to meet somebody and to know somebody and to trust somebody, you can't go there and say, look, I'm nice. That doesn't work.
Oh, it was music in my ears. I could listen to you all day long talking about passion, watchmaking, doing it better, and not about investments and not about flipping, hyping. I'm so fed up with it. People who are watching our channel know that because I do say this so often. I'm so fed up with that crap. I can't hear it anymore. And it's so disgusting. People just seeing these art objects, for me, because I'm a passionate, it's art. And art is just seen as a share or an investment, and how to do.
Isn't it quite ironic? Here comes the first watch from Lange Söhne, waterproof to 120 meter, which was the answer to the requests of all our customers. Can we get a watch for the best time of the year, weekends, family, holiday? We come with it, and then we attract people that actually just want to do it, put it in a safe. That's a very safe environment, by the way. And then that's exactly what we don't want. I'm sorry. And again, anybody, and I really mean that, if somebody has a better idea or system, how you create a history, a solid history that we can follow up, I'm listening.
I wish everybody would be as tough, not tough in sense of tough, but tough, and control his distribution as you do. I really wished the others did the same and not just, okay. I cannot say any more than this. I could listen to you all day long telling me stories about passion and watchmaking, because this is music to my ears. And unfortunately, I will have to go out there and here at Watches and Wonders, I would say 1/3 of the people out there are just thinking how to flip watches. Unfortunately, Do you want to hear a very sad story to end? I come here on the show Monday, and I run around doing my first tours, and then I come closer to the Rolex windows where they are showcasing the new watches, and there were 3 people standing, having an iPhone in their hands, discussing with someone in the States about how much the new Daytona then will resell on the gray market. They didn't have any interest in the watch, in the quality, in the brand, in the history, in nothing. It was just a discussion, may it go higher than 3 times the price. Come on, guys. Sorry. Therefore, thank you for giving me this.
Alexander,
you cleared my brain.
As always, you're ready for the day. I am ready for the day.
Yes,
I had my Roibus, you had your Roibus.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go. Thank you very much. Congratulations once again. In case you have not seen the video, I repeat it again. Please do watch it. It's worth, And
the answer about the sickness, I have a very small wrist and it works perfectly on my wrist. So I don't want to fuel, I want to have it, but it's actually a very wearable watch.
I know. I had it on my wrist. And when Anthony took it away, I said,
It's painful.
let it there for a couple more minutes. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.